How is everyone doing today? I just want to say welcome. My name is Mr. Pankey, and I'm so excited that you all are here today. Goodness, I just want to say it's been a crazy summer. We've never had one like this in the history of Bethel Christian Schools. There are just so many families that I have met. There are so many families that I'm looking at. I'm just like, I've never even seen you before. But I do want to say welcome. One of our biggest things is that we want to keep the family atmosphere of Bethel Christian Schools, and that's why we have family barbecues at back to school, and hopefully we'll have a lot more of these occasions as the year progresses. At this time, if you did not receive one of these little packets, it's just a few pages long, just raise your hand. I'll have Mrs. Pankey come out and give that to you. But before I get going, I do want to say, do a word of prayer if you don't mind. Here, and there's another one right on that side. So go ahead and bow your heads. Father, we just come to you right now. We just thank you for this afternoon, this evening, Father. Father, we just praise you and give you all the glory and thanks for this upcoming school year, which starts on Thursday. One thing I just want to just pray a special blessing over everyone is just health, safety, Father. And that energy that they're going to have on Thursday just continues to last all the way through the school year. We just praise right now for our teachers and our staff and just our community that, again, Father, that you are just moving in their lives, that you are blessing each and every single one of them, and that we are just going to have a fantastic 21-22 school year. In the name of Jesus we pray, amen. All right, so let's see if I can get this clicker to work. I think it is on. We'll see. So today what I want to do is just briefly go over it. This is going to be about a 15 to 20-minute presentation. I will stay here longer after the presentation, so if you have any additional questions later on, I will be here to help answer those. So I'm just going to go over some hot topics that some of the things that the parents have basically said, hey, Mr. Pankey, this is what I have more questions about. Hey, Mr. Pankey, what about this? Mr. Pankey, what about maybe our COVID plan? And those were all the questions that I've been getting probably for the last 3 or 4 days now. So the first one I want to kind of give you is our communication. So ultimately, one of the biggest things is we don't want this to happen. It says, and that is why we lift on 3. I know you can't really see it. Hopefully you can, but we don't want to drop any of you, right? So we don't want to miss anything. We don't want to you to forget or even miss that there's an event or something that's happening. So there's a lot of different ways. Now, if you didn't get an email from me talking about this particular event, make sure you see me afterwards so that we can make sure that you have your correct email in our system and whatnot. So these are all the different ways that we communicate. You know, we have our BCS app. Within our BC app, we have notifications. We have our fax RenWeb. We have our classic telephone method. So you may get a call. Now, hopefully you never get a call from Mr. Farley if your child's in middle school or high school, or Mrs. Goodrich. Usually those calls are disciplinary type calls, and you'll get a little bit more on that in just a minute. And then, of course, we do a lot of communication through email. One of the things that's not on there, K through 5, you get like flyers all the time. You get this calendar all the time. Middle school and high school, we would love to get you flyers and all that, but for some reason, flyers with middle schoolers and high school never seem to get to you. And so they do get to the grass. They do get under the lockers. They do get on carpet. You know, they get in those places. So maybe every now and then, if you want to come by and help us pick up trash, you'll get that information that way. But email is our biggest one. And so if you don't have an email, again, contact me. The other one is that one in the top right-hand corner, fax. And Mr. Rowe, can you go ahead and pull up fax? So our fax account, Our fax account is kind of like your portal for a lot of different things. And so if you haven't been to the screen, you can go to www.bethelchristianschools.com, click on the Parent tab, and underneath that it says Fax Parent Web. So if you clicked on that, you should get to this screen. Now, I would actually go ahead and click here to log in. if I were you and you're at home, I would bookmark this this link right here because it's going to be able to you'll be able to find it easier. So once you log in, so Mr. Rowe, go ahead and log in. If you're a parent and do not know how to do this, please, I'll show you, or I'll actually have to kind of tell you how to navigate because you'll need your username and password. So the first one is your district code. It's the same for everyone. It's BCR-CA. And once you log into your fax parent portal, it will look something like this. Now he's going to switch over because we're going to use my daughter as an example. Hey, that's me. And so, can you go back one screen? So, okay, so once you're at this particular screen, so you should see it. Go back to mine. I'm sorry, Mr. Rowe. You'll see something that looks like this. And there's so many different things that you can do here. So, for instance, one of the things is that your child may or may not know their schedule. So if they're in 6th grade through 12th grade, if you clicked on classes, you'll be able to click on that. If you click on a class, like let's say Bible, it'll give you the teacher's information, how to contact that teacher. And again, there's the email address, so you can just click on that link and contact the teacher. Another thing that you can do is if you went down to student, if you ever want to know, what does my child have to do? What is my child missing? What is my child's grade? This is pretty much live information, so you can click on grades. And it'll show you the current grades. So that's pretty neat in that aspect. So most of our 6 through 12 classes, actually our 6 through 12 classes will have this up to date. A lot of our K through 5 classes, you'll get these progress reports that Mrs. Pankey is going to talk about almost like weekly. So you'll get like these little forms that you have to sign. So as you get into the middle school and high school area, this is where you can check out what your grades are for your child, and then you can also check out what they're missing in their assignments. So there's homework. There's a homework link. There's an attendance link. You can check: is my child late? Is my child, hey, my child was there. Why are they absent? You can check with the registrar, and you can do a lot in that aspect. Now, the one area where hopefully you don't get too much information from, or maybe something that pops up would be that behavior link. And so this will kind of give you an idea if that's not the behavior link, is it? It is? Okay, so this will kind of give you an idea how your child's behaving in class. Okay, so right now, good thing my daughter Juliana is I would be kind of concerned if she had some kind of behavioral report and school didn't even start. So that's navigate through there, check that out. This is one of the best areas to look. All right. So another thing is a lot of people are wondering about our communication in regards to notifications. And so let me just make sure that I'm where I'm supposed to be. This is the first time I'm doing this. So what do I go to, Mr. Rowe? That's what I thought. If you haven't already, Bethel Christian Schools does have an app. And with that app, you can do quite a few things. And so there we go. So one of the things that I wanted to show you is this little thing right here. So the app is that where it says Bethel. So if you went to your Android store or if you went to your Apple store, look up Bethel Christian Schools. It has that logo and says Bethel right underneath it. That's how you can get our app. Now, there you'll get notifications. Maybe if something comes up within the school and we want you to know about. There's also, if your child's in athletics or dance, something's coming up. These are kind of like your reminders and notifications to that regards. If there's an emergency on campus, you'll get it here and also via email. But most people don't check their email as much as, say, an app. So in the app, you'll notice that there is the calendar function, the My Grades. Again, that's how you can get back into facts through the app. You can fill out an absent form. So if you know your child's going to be absent that day, you can just click on the absent form and fill out that. You can let us know why they're absent for the day. One of the other features that a lot of parents use, and it'll be updated tomorrow, would be lunch orders. So you could place a lunch order here. And so it just basically shows what we have. Now, currently, every Monday, we have Subway, Every Wednesday, we have Chick-fil-A. And then every Friday, we have Domino's Pizza. We are working on a Tuesday and Thursday. Domino's Pizza? Chick-fil-A. Which one's better? Domino's? Domino's is better than Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A is better than Domino's? All right. And so Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're working on some Mexican food. And then also on maybe a Thursday, we're working on a Chinese, like a bowl or something like that. So keep an eye on that. And this is where you can order your meal. So like if you said, I want to click here to order, you do that. Now, unfortunately, we're working on it where you can just click on all the meals that you want. Right now, you have to do it like one at a time, and I know that stinks, but hopefully within the next 2 months or so, we'll have it updated so that you can just click on all the days you want lunch and pick it from there. I would ask IT to do it, but it's been so crazy for them trying to run cables and networks. With our network, it's been a crazy summer. So some of the other things that you may want to look at, there's special events. So sometimes we have a special event. There's really nothing to post right now, but you can order event tickets there and whatnot. So download our app and just kind of navigate through that. That'll be fantastic. So then, of course, you'll also get our notifications. And if you missed one, then you could ultimately go to reminders here, and that will pop this up, and it'll just show you all the different reminders that have come up in the past. All right, so we can get back to that screen. So emails, notifications, we'll call you. We'll do whatever we can to try to get a hold of you. Now, really quick, so you don't just listen to the same voice for forever. Mrs. Pankey, can you come up and talk a little bit about academics?
All right, I am Mrs. Pankey, the academic advisor, so I handle all academics, K through 12. I also handle dance. I'm the dance director, just to throw that out there. All right, so for the different ways that we communicate for grades, we also do our best not only just to leave it up to you to go ahead and check facts, which again, you can check it daily. It is live. You can see it at all times. But say, for example, you get busy like we all do and you just maybe didn't get to it. We do keep you informed the very best we can. When a student starts to slip down and we start to see their grades slipping, then we are going to contact you. And the way that we're going to do that, again, is via email, but also through a progress report. So we send out our progress reports for middle school, high school every 6 weeks. So you're going to get one at the 6-week mark that's going to say this is where your child is at. If they're already falling below that C level, you're going to be able to know and help pick that up. And then we'll do it again, another 6 weeks. And so that about the time is when we have parent-teacher conferences, I believe. And at that point, then you're really knowing, okay, we only have a little bit more time to get these grades up before it's their final report card grade. Okay, so we're going to communicate that through a progress report. And again, if we see that your child is slipping below, you're going to get phone calls from the teacher, you're going to get emails from the teacher, and you will also receive emails from me. So just always be looking out for and checking your emails to keep on track. For elementary school, they do progress reports a little bit differently. Theirs is more done on a weekly basis. Usually the elementary teachers give you their homework sheet, and their homework sheet for the whole week tells you kind of what they're doing, and then they give you a progress update on where they are, and it'll have, the test and quiz grades that they did, and it'll give you little notes. So they keep you more on a weekly basis, exactly where your child is, and they do 4 report cards because they are on a quarter system, where middle school, high school is on a semester system. So you'll receive 4 report cards for elementary and only 2 for middle school, high school. Parent-teacher conferences are October 7th and 8th. That's our first set. So again, like I said, you'll get that email. We encourage you to come to parent-teacher conferences, even if your child is doing well. You can still meet with the teacher, talk about things that you maybe have some concerns about. If your child is falling behind, we highly recommend that you meet with the teacher at that time so that you can come up with some strategies and ways to help your child get back on track before that report card comes out. And then March 3rd and 4th is the one for the spring semester that we have again to finalize grades for the spring. So if you have any questions after about academics, I'm more than happy to answer any of those questions. I'll be here for you. And just a little quick note for middle school, high school, because a lot of you are new and we didn't get actually the opportunity to really sit down and go over things. Specifically for high school, we are a college prep school, So our goal is to get your child to a Cal State or a UC. So every child starts out as a freshman on that path. So we set you up for them to be on the path to have all the requirements and everything they need to attend college. If along the lines things need to change, we can make adjustments. But just so you are aware, we have a high success rate for our college students from colleges all over, UCs, Cal States, in-state, out-of-state colleges. And that is our goal, is to get your child to college. So just know that when we put them in their classes, we're striving for that goal, all right? And I think that was it for me. That's it for me.
Yay, Mrs. Pankey! Yes, I am related to Mrs. Pankey. All right. Let's see here. So just really quick, I want to just briefly stop here about safety and security. Now, I wish Mr. Morales was here, but he's out parking car. We didn't realize exactly the turnout that we're going to have. This was a fantastic turnout. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. So he's helping out there, but his name is Mr. Morales. And so one of the things that I want to stress with you, we get it almost every year, even with our new parents, like our existing parents that have been here for years, they're like, why is it so crowded when I drop off my child? Why am I waiting for an extra 15 to 20 minutes? But I just want to kind of show you the flow, and you should have a map on there, with you. But it is going to be extremely busy on Thursday. It'll be somewhat busy again on Friday, and even through the next couple weeks, because people are going to get into a routine of how they drop off their child and how to pick, when to pick them up. So the one thing I just want to stress: be patient. We do open the doors for all the kids when they arrive, or at least we try to. So when you come in through the front gate, where that says that in, you're just going to go straight and then drop off where those stars are. And so we'll have people that are going to be showing you exactly where to drop off, and we're going to try our best to keep people moving. But we're not only training parents on what to do, we're training someone else. And that would be your child. So to have their backpack ready when we open up the door and whatnot. So that's all going to be a new process for many of our kids, or even just a reminder. That and the other one is our pickup. Our pickup is that looks very, very confusing, I know. You're just going to know that you need to follow wherever somebody tells you to go. So when you drive in, you're just going to make a right onto that gravel area, and there's going to be signs that say if you have a K through 2 or a 3 through 4 pickup. All right? And so there's a sibling area also. So if you have siblings that need picked up all grouped up, there's going to be an area where all the siblings will be as well. So just kind of look at that map, study it. You're going to basically drive around those bouncers and then come back around, and there's some ramps that the kindergartners will be at, the first and second graders, and then the third through fifth graders. So again, it's going to be a training period. Just know that it's going to be pretty busy. Now, the other thing is some parents have been asking, hey, Mr. Pankey, I have a kindergartner, or I have a first grader. Can I go to class? Can I walk up to the class and say goodbye to them and cry with them? So if you're emotional and you want to cry because your kid's going to first grade for the first time, whatever, feel free. Now, I will be out there taking pictures, so just know you may wind up on our Facebook page, but feel free to do that. We didn't have that last year, but we are inviting parents if you would like to walk to your child's classroom. And generally, I know that usually is kind of the kindergarten and first graders. So we'll see some of you there. All right, just briefly, I just want to go through our COVID plan, because that was something that a lot of parents were asking. I mean, we are following the California Department of Health guidelines. So masks indoors, hand sanitizer stations. You might have seen those all over the place. We're going to be daily disinfecting everything. If your child is symptomatic, we just ask that you keep your child home. If you have any questions about quarantine or isolation, just call the school office, and they'll transfer you to Mr. Morales, and he'll give you all the update information on that. So the biggest thing, symptomatic individuals, students, just keep your child home in that aspect. And again, if you have any questions on the COVID-19 plan that we have here, go ahead and talk to me after this. One of the last things that I'm going to invite up, and this should only take a few moments, and this is Mrs. Goodrich, our elementary dean of students, and she's going to talk a little about this thing here. I wonder if my teacher gets tired of saying wow, wow, wow all day. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Is that what it is?
I get a minute. Whew. Okay, so we are going to be doing, we have an assertive discipline policy, which means that we are very much giving the teachers the responsibility of managing their classrooms. We're giving them tools, and we are going to back them. Mr. Farley and I are there to support them in their classroom management policies, and we hope this doesn't happen, but we know sometimes it does, when they need us to step in and when the students need an extra bit of confidence in our encouragement in following our guidelines, we'll step in and help them do that. One of the other things that we, as a staff, realized is that we have students, more in the junior high and high school, but also in the elementary, that were failing classes or getting behind in classes primarily just because they just weren't turning in their work. And I know that was a really hard struggle because with half of our school being online and half of our students being on campus, but it is very hard. Once a student starts getting in that habit of not turning in their work and not doing their assignments, they quickly go from being an A-B student to a D-F student just because they're not turning in things. It's not that they don't have the ability to do the work. It's not that they aren't smart. It's just that they don't want to do the work. So if that happens in a particular class, if a teacher, this is for junior high and high school and elementary, if a particular subject or class, the teacher recognizes that they have fallen below a 75% average, which is just a nice hard C. If they go below that because of missing assignments, they're going to inform us of how many missing assignments, either Mr. Farley or myself, and we will assign a Saturday school academy. And that will give them the opportunity to come to school for 3 hours and catch up on all those assignments. There'll be a teacher here to help them, to get them through, to make sure those assignments get caught up. And if they can't get them all caught up in one Saturday school, then they will get another one until they've gotten completely caught up. The cost for Saturday school, now this is for junior and high school. It'll be different for elementary. They won't do a Saturday school academy for elementary. But for junior high and high school, the Saturday school academy is $45 every time they have to come. For elementary, we will not do a Saturday school academy. What we'll do is an afternoon homework help. So it'll be after school. They'll come. They will get help from one of the teachers or myself, and that would be $20. And they will come to those those after-school homework helps. It's $20 per day. So however many days they have to do it until they're caught back up, then that's what we will put into place. Are there any questions about that? Okay. And I will leave it with this. I'm going to take an opportunity to say, happy anniversary, babe. Thanks for 25 years.
Yes, we made Mrs. Goodrich work today. It's her 25th anniversary with Mr. Goodrich, and I think that's why he's here. He doesn't have to be here. And again, we don't want to just collect money. Our idea is, our thing is if your child needs help, we're going to give you an opportunity to get that support for your child. It may come at a cost, but we're going to help. Now, if your child is in an extended day program, usually in about 3 weeks into the school year, we start a after-school homework help room. And so those are for all those extended daycare children. They would just automatically we will just push them over there and then get the help that they need. So it's mainly more for added support and maybe guidance and help. Maybe they're falling behind because they don't understand a subject. At a after-school homework help or a Saturday school academy, they're going to get that additional help, not just on their homework, but how to do their homework and maybe a concept or something that they're missing. So other than that, I'm going to be releasing you. So if you have any additional questions, come see myself, Mrs. Pankey, Mrs. Goodrich. We will be able to answer those. I know at 7:15, there's a second K-5 presentation, so you might want to go to your child's teacher and see the classroom, see what's going on in their classroom, and maybe know a little bit more about those procedures and policies. Again, I want to say thank you very much for coming today. We'll be here after this meeting. Thank you.